Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Bloom. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Joanne Oyedoko. And with me today, I have a very special friend. In a bit, I'm just going to let her introduce herself. But before we dive into it, I just want to take time to thank everyone that has watched the videos on the channel, that have subscribed, share, comment. It means a lot to me, and thank you for the engagement. Thank you for engaging in the comment section. Truly appreciate it. Welcome to Life Bloom Studio.
Thank you.
I'm just going to let you introduce yourself to our audience.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Folashade Adesaalu, and I'm a mother of 3, and I have suffered endometriosis for like my entire life, for over 20 years before I was finally diagnosed of endometriosis. So it's a long, very long journey for me.
Thank you for being vulnerable enough to come and share this story, because I'm telling you, in fact, it's also inspiring to me, because in my own situation, I had to do IVF because, after my surgery, the 11-hour surgery, the doctor was like, oh girl, there's no guarantee that if you don't get pregnant, this thing will grow back.
Yeah.
So right now, let's take advantage of IVF. And, it took me a little bit of time to, give up and say, okay, you know what, let's do it, because at that time, I was still very new to IVF. I was like, okay, you've had it in my story. I didn't want to do anything outside God's will, I'm a Jesus baby, I'm a baby. So I always want to stay in line with God's will for my life. So that was very important. But mine was even as bad as yours, to be honest. My endometriosis was bad. It was I think it was stage 3 or 4 to mine. But I didn't have enlarged ovaries. I didn't have PCOS. You understand? So to hear you say that you didn't even have surgery was a miracle. So we also hear you say that you conceived naturally. That could only be God. So let's move forward with our question. When you were during your early years, when you were still dealing with the pain and everything, of course you didn't know that it was endometriosis.
I didn't.
How did it affect your day-to-day activities, life? When you were in school, how did they affect it? When you started working, how did they affect your day-to-day activity?
So, endometriosis, even then, I didn't know it was endometriosis. So, like I said, in my own case, it was genetic, because my mom, she had that heavy bleeding. And even up till when my mom is in her 70s now, up till like 60 something, she was still menstruating.
Wow.
Yes. So, and she told me that this thing even happens to our own mom too. Like, that's my grandma. So
it's obvious that
it's genetics. My sisters too. So I just had to deal with that pain. Because it's like, okay, there's nothing we can do about it. Everybody in the families are like that. So all you can do is just take pain medication and do whatever you can do, cut out some foods and all of that. But it affected my daily life. Like, how will someone menstruate for 11 days with heavy clotting?
It's not easy.
When I'm going out, I'm always with my pad, like a full pad. Like, I use a full pad every day.
Wow.
Yes, because in less than 30 minutes, the pad is soaked. I have to rush to the bathroom. So it just affects my daily life.
That heavy bleeding thing was a thing.
My school, my job, like all my classmates know that when she's not in school for 3 consecutive days, they know that she's on her period. And the embarrassment, sometimes you go out, then you sit down, before you stand up, your whole cloth is wet, it's stained. Strangers will be telling you, hey, it's just so embarrassing, and it was like that for so many years. Even after I gave birth to my children, the heavy bleeding
still continues. All right, so a follow-up question. Now you've told us the story and how you did not have surgery and how you conceived naturally. Please tell our audience, conception took place and what was the blessing that God gave you to make it further mind-blowing.
In fact, the conception is another story on its own. That one is the biggest testimony of it. Like, from the day I got the positive result that I was pregnant up to the time I delivered, it was like a war. It's another phase of another battle. You think that, God has done it, you're pregnant and that's it. That's the end of endometriosis, or end of the PCOS and the cyst. No, that was when the devil brings out its ugly head. After I tested positive to pregnancy, then I fell sick. I was very sick. I thought it was just the pregnancy. You're getting pregnant for the first time, so it's okay. So I went back to the doctor and they did scan. Before then, when I told my doctor that, come, I was pregnant. See, this is the result. The doctor was like, no. You know, there's something they call chemical pregnancy. It could be chemical pregnancy because the doctor did not believe that I could be pregnant with all that baggage of different diagnoses and all that. So the doctor now scheduled an ultrasound scan, and they did the scan and was like, we are not seeing anything. We can see sac, but it's empty. The sac is empty. So it could just be a forced pregnancy. So let's just wait for another couple of weeks that I should, come back. But I didn't go back to that doctor. I don't want that kind of negative report.
I know, right?
I changed my doctors, I changed to another OBGYN and I told the doctor my problem. I said, I've been through this for a long time. So please, I need you to just believe with me. Thank God the doctor is a man of faith. So we prayed together and now we started the scan and he said, I'm not only seeing one sac, I am seeing two. So it's like they're carrying twins.
See what God can do.
Oh my God. He could not believe it.
Wow.
I quickly called my husband. I said, please come over. This is what this doctor is saying. So my husband rushed to the hospital from his place of work and was like, you need to repeat that scan. Let's see again. And my sister, that was how we saw that I was carrying two babies.
Wow.
Twin babies. To God be the glory.
Wow.
And the journey of another round of pain started with the pregnancy.
No, let's go there, my sister. Let's go there, because if we go there, we won't end this video at all.
Yes, sister, I just want to tell you about the cyst in pregnancy. While I was pregnant, I had a ruptured cyst. The ovarian cyst got ruptured and twisted. And I was scheduled for immediate evacuation. That they're going to terminate the pregnancy. They have to remove. They have to, they said they have to that. It was really bad. The pain was really bad. Like there's no way I could carry that pregnancy to term. So the ovary has ruptured and there was internal bleeding that even it's either I lost my life or the children or something just terrible. So they need to do emergency C-section. I refused. I said, God has started something good in my life. We'll bring it to an end. Because I've received the prophecy about these twin babies before now. So I'm going to stand on that prophecy. I'm not going to allow anybody to stand. I said, I'm not going to die. So I warned my husband, you dare not sign anything here. You are not going to, I'm not going to go for any surgery. But the pain was bad. But I stood my ground. I stand on the word of God. I keep prophesying. I keep talking to the babies. I keep talking to my body. Whether ruptured cyst or ruptured ovary or whatever it is, I will carry these babies to term. I have suffered enough.
That is a very, very important thing that you just raised. You need to take ownership of your life. Like you heard her say, she started prophesying to her body. She started speaking to her body life. She started speaking to the babies in the womb. And she stood on the word of God. My dear audience, standing on the word of God is key in every journey. In any journey you embark on, no matter how challenging, no matter how difficult it is, when you stand on the word of God, when you have a relationship with God and you know him for who he is, God will not only show up,
exactly.
He shows up bigger than you expect. Because you can imagine if she had allowed them to do that surgery and terminate those pregnancies, maybe she won't be here testifying to the babies now. Those babies are grown. They're in my children's class. They're grown. I know them. I see them. So never allow anybody. And really, nobody can believe God for you as much as you believe God for yourself.
True.
And that's why it's very important for you to know God. Let's talk about community and support system. Because to be honest, there's nothing frustrating in having a condition, a medical condition, whereby the doctors themselves are dismissing your pain. Or are saying that, oh no, it couldn't be this, or misdiagnosing things. There's nothing more frustrating than that.
Exactly.
That itself can drive someone crazy. And then, because in my own case, maybe because my husband is a medical doctor himself and has a medical understanding of what is going on. So it didn't really freaking that much. I'm not going to say, let me just put it that way, that much. But I'm eager and interested to know how all this played with your husband. First, when you got diagnosed with endometriosis, even before you got diagnosed, when you started having painful intercourse and everything, what was his reaction? How did he take it? Because it's not normal.
It's not.
So he will go out and some of his friends will be talking about how they are enjoying their wife and everything, and in your mind you are thinking, I have one that, is always complaining. Maybe she's even lying, this and that and all that. Different things can go through. It's just God. So how did he take it? Let's start from there. How was that process? How did he take that part?
Well, I thank God for my husband. He was very understanding and very supportive. Throughout the years where we're waiting, we're trying for pregnancy, he was just always there for me. Even when people are talking, like, what is happening? We Africans, after 1 year, pregnancy, they'll start asking you questions. What are you doing? What are you waiting for? But my husband is always like, I didn't marry her because of children. If God give us children, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. Yeah. So yeah, my husband was very supportive.
That's good.
Those times that we have issues, whenever the doctor calls us to come, he's always there with me, go with me for medical checkups. And if they ask me to do anything or any procedures, he just makes himself available. So for that, my husband is the only support system that I need at that time, and he was present for all the years that I was having my pains and all of that. My parents and my sister were like, we are passing it, we are going through it too,
the
so
same thing.
There's nothing we can do. So because they never, they don't get that diagnosis. My mom didn't even bother. She doesn't experience.
At what age did she want to be?
Exactly. Another thing my mom told us, myself and my sister, that, you people should get married early. By the time you have one child, second child, everything will go. He said, by the time you have babies, all those bad blood in your body will come out with the baby. So don't just worry, you'll be fine. That was what my mother told us. But he never went away. Even after we had our children, myself and my late sister, we were still having the heavy bleeding. Heavy bleeding until my sister like, Shade, this thing na die.
Wow.
The option that I have is that she's going to do hysterectomy, so that if she removed her uterus, she doesn't want to have any baby again, then this period, heavy bleeding and all that will stop. I said, okay. And she went for it. She did her own hysterectomy. I said, okay, you are good now, nothing. I said, okay. I myself will also go for it because I don't want any children again anymore. So that was our final decision.
Okay. So you both went for hysterectomy?
We both went for hysterectomy.
Wow. Yeah. So I'm still very curious. We're still going to stay a little bit with your husband. And the reason why I said that is because, especially if you're married, your husband, your partner should be your best and closest support system. If you're not, then maybe your family, your siblings, your parents, and everybody. Was there any point in time that all these things got him really frustrated, that what did I sign up for? Because I just feel that hearing your story, it looks similar to my story in terms of our support system with our husband. But I just feel like God has a way of compensating us with all the pain that we've gone through, and just said, you know what, let me look for a man that will be tolerant enough to support these people for their pain,
In fact, I thank God for my husband. Like I said, he really understood the situation, even though he's not in any way in the medical field, but he understands that this is a really, really serious issues that I was going through, and there's nothing else he could do than to, support me in the situation. Even though this decision for him to go through IVF was like, he doesn't really know what IVF is like. Oh, IVF, what do you mean IVF? Is it going to be a real baby? Is there going to be any, he was scared. So it took a lot of convincing from my own part and my doctor to convince my husband that we have to do this IVF. Let's just try, So when we tried, it took time for him to accept that we should, because there was like, he doesn't believe in IVF, that why was I in a hurry, that God will do it at his own time. I said, at his own time. I'm a woman. And you heard when the doctor said my eggs, I wasn't producing good eggs, and with my age and all of that. But yeah, it was really, really very, very frustrating journey for me. Very frustrating, very, very frustrating, especially with my endometriosis, with my bleeding. It got to a time that my period wasn't even coming every 4 weeks again or 5 weeks again. It comes like every other week, like every 10 days. It stopped now. Then
before you know it,
then you relax for like 1 week, it's back again. So it was really frustrating. I was always on my period. Like, I was like, even the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible, I don't think it's this.
I know, right?
I don't think it's this bad. Always bleeding.
In fact, at some point, I'm beginning to think maybe that woman had endometriosis. The woman with the issue of blood, maybe she also had endometriosis. It's possible.
It baffles the doctor that with this amount of blood that you are losing every month, every 2 weeks, or every week, you are not staying anemic.
Yeah.
It's very like,
I just feel
how every time they do blood counts, they like, you're okay. But I don't know. But it's just so exhausting. But thank God I have a supportive husband that understands my body, even with the painful intercourse. Like, okay, just leave her alone. No, she's gonna cry now. So it's just a lot. It's just so much.
I know.
But I thank God.
So besides your husband and your siblings and your mom, they were like, deal with it.
Yeah, just deal with it.
But did you go out there to look for other supportive system, like maybe your friends, your church member, community? Did you find a community that was supportive?
No, because endometriosis is not the awareness is not really there. People don't really talk about it.
Yes.
A lot of people are suffering endometriosis, but they misdiagnose it. They don't even know they have it. So people don't really talk about, except for among my friends that I know that are also going through infertility.
Yes.
We just share among ourselves. Oh, they told me I have fibroid. Some people will say, oh, my own is ovulation. I wasn't ovulating. We just talk about it among few of my friends that I know that are also having that kind of issue. But other than that, no any other support system for me.
Wow.
I'm just on my own, just my husband, myself, and my sister, and maybe 2 or 3 of my friends.
Wow.
That are also facing infertility issues. So that's it. So we just try to research by ourselves. Okay, if anybody get any information, like the doctor that eventually diagnosed me of endometriosis is one of my friends that invited me to an infertility conference.
Wow.
Infertility seminar that I went for, and we got all the information and we met the doctor. So over the period of almost 20-something years, I've visited more than 10 doctors and none of them diagnosed me of endometriosis.
That speaks to the problem that we have at hand about awareness. Because endometriosis is a beast. And I feel that there should be more light on endometriosis, raising more awareness, and this is why we're doing this. Yes. This is why we're coming out, sharing our story. This is why we're asking you to help us to share, to subscribe, to build a community of women that can try even in the pain, and to build a community where we know that there's hope. As you can see, there's hope. There's hope.
There is.
We have our own children, and I believe that you can also have it. What message would you like to share with other women or ladies battling endometriosis, battling PCOS and infertility?
Okay, so one thing that I would want to share with anyone battling endometriosis is, first of all, you need to educate yourself. You need to understand your symptoms. You need to, what is endometriosis? You need to, if you educate yourself, you'll be able to, know how you're feeling and how to communicate this to your doctor. And then you also need to find the right doctor. And also you need to find the right treatment options. They're going to give you different options. So you need to educate yourself on what treatment options that will be the best for you, whether surgery or hormone treatment or pain medication and all of that. So you need to find the best treatment, by finding the best doctor that can help with the diagnosis.
Alrighty.
And also in the treatment of infertility, if it's your desire to have children, then quickly think about it, because the earlier the better, because with endometriosis, the longer it takes, the more inflammation, the more scar tissues, the more damage it's going to cause. So
thank you so
you're
much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for coming to Live Bloom. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share your story and for others to learn from you. So, viewers, you have heard it from the horse's mouth. But before I let you go, I have a question, and I want you to go into the comment section and let's discuss about this question. If you could ask an endometriosis expert one question, what will that be? Go into the comment section. Let's talk about that and let's discuss about it. Drop those questions. But I hope today you've learned that endometriosis is real. The pain is real. We're not crazy. We're not talking to ourselves. And endometriosis deserves to be talked about. So please don't be silent. Don't live your life in shame. Don't live your life in silence. Speak up, speak out. Subscribe to this channel. Help us to create the awareness. As you can see, we have a big issue on our hands with this lack of awareness. Help us to create the awareness as we go. Share your story with us. And if you would love to share your story with us like she has done, please DM me. We would love to hear from you. And if you have any question, you know where to go. Go to the comment section and we would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Together, we can break the silence. Together, we can build a community of hope and understanding. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.